Hi everyone, if you want to see this eye look, then pay attention and keep watching, okay? Alright, I went in with my LA Pro Girl Concealer and Fawn on my eyelids. I use Fawn for everything that I possibly can just because it works so well with my skin tone and it's not really heavy. I can move it around. I went in with my fluffy brush just to pat it out a little bit so I can set an even base for all of my shadows. This part is so important. Some people have been catching on and some people have not. Put a setting powder right after you put that concealer on, just to make sure you have another even base for your shadows and make sure they don't crease. If you put eyeshadow on without putting setting powder, your eyeshadow will crease probably within the hour of you wearing it, and it's not even going to look anything like how it did in the beginning. I went ahead with my Forever 21 palette just with a neutral tone for my transition color. And then what I'm doing to my brow bone, I took a Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter and just put it right up under there early, because if you do it after the whole shadow look is done, it's not going to blend with everything. And I wanted a gradient effect with all of my shadows today, so it made it a whole lot easier to do it before than after. I've had a lot of time-consuming eye looks that I've done in the past, but this one has definitely been really time-consuming because you have to pack that color on over and over and over again without having to wait. Either whether it's going to be a darker shade to highlight the neutral shade and add that on. As you can see, I've kind of like put more colors on. In my crease, I've put a lot more shimmer powders, and then on the upper part of my eye, I've put a darker colors. But the key to all of that is you have to blend. You don't want any harsh lines at the ends of you doing your look. As you can see, is why I will sit there and blend everything. If my arms aren't burning, it's not working, okay? After all of that blending, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut my crease. I found a concealer brush that I really feel like I love, but it looks fast now, but in real time, it can take me like 5 minutes to really cut my crease the way that I like it. Kind of just cover it over your lid in a winged motion, because I'm not going to cover the whole lid with concealer, but it's going to be a part that I really pay attention to. The outer parts of my eye are going to have darker shades, but then the inner part is going to have that pigment. So about that part where we're talking about packing pigment on, that's where all of that happens right here. That is probably the most time-consuming part of this whole entire look, but it's worth it. I took just a peachy shade from my BH Cosmetics palette and just go in with that and kind of clean up your crease a little bit, because creases can get a little uneven. But on the outer part, I took a dark brown at first, but then after that, I took a black, because if you put the black first, it's going to look a little bit too harsh and it's really going to defeat the purpose of all that you're doing. And on top of that lid, I put a Wet n Wild Gold pigment. You can find that pigment anywhere, whether it's like CVS or Walmart. Faithfully, they will have it. And I wanted to use my liquid liner for my wing, but I've used that baby so much that I feel like that was the day she just decided to give up on me forever. I had to buy a new one, and it's okay. But on the outside, I actually use my gel liner that I've just been holding out on for a really long time. But the control in that gel liner was amazing. I didn't have to worry about my wing turning out a way that I didn't want to, because it felt like whatever I wanted to do, it was going to do. And after that, I just went in with my Ruby Kisses Poreless Primer. I use all oil-free primers. I have oily skin. So if I put an oily primer on my skin, everything is just going to slide off in an hour, because I sweat easily too. And that's not fun for anybody. But after that, I just went in with my LA Pro Girl Concealer and Fawn. I don't know why I really got into the practice of putting concealer on and after my foundation, but it really just depends on the coverage you're going for. Certain days where I'm not really trying to be extra and I just want to be Leslie and not Troy, I'm not about to put all that concealer on. There's no point for it. And after I blend it out with my Faithful Beauty Blender, I just put on my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 355 in Coconut. And if you have a skin color that's like mine, go ahead and get that 355 Coconut. You will never want to get another foundation ever again. into contour, I use my Black Radiance contour palette. I have the cream palette and the powder palette just because I love it so much. And please, as you can see, I'm really, really careful about my nose contour. Everyone's nose contour is not going to be the same because we all have different noses, obviously. But whatever you do, please take your time. And after that little nose contour snippet, I'm just going to blend everything out with my beauty blender. I usually blend upward because you don't want to blend downward because it's going to elongate the things that you kind of want to sharpen a little bit. And we're trying to have this face chiseled. We're not trying to have this face drooping, you know? I always set any of my contours with a powder because same way like how we set our concealer with a powder on our eyelids, we're going to set it on our face so our contour just doesn't come swiping off through the day because nothing pisses me off more than a beat just sliding off in the heat because this heat is dangerous. But I went ahead with, I think I have a BH Cosmetics face sculpting kit. I bought it when I didn't know anything about contouring, but I knew one day I was definitely going to have to use it. And we're just going to head and buff all the rest of that contour out. And I'm making that face because that I have an e.l.f. It's like a brow and a eyelash like setting thing. It's clear, but I really thought I was gonna have to use it. It has so much product on it for the eyelash part, and I just think it's so disgusting, and I'm probably not gonna have too much use out of it anymore. And after just priming my eyelashes, I went ahead and put my lashes on. I use hair glue to put on my eyelashes. Don't do that if you don't do it usually. Just because whatever I do to my eyes, you may not be able to do to your eyes. So I'm not advising that. Go ahead and get some eyelash glue. And I went ahead and used my Black Radiance contour palette, the powder one, just to set all that cream contour that I did before. And I'm just going to go along my cheekbones and I'm going to go over my nose again because that's the most prominent part. I don't want that going absolutely anywhere. I have a Estee Lauder brush from my grandma. I think it was like $70 and she told me just guard that with my life, which I do to this day. And I just wanted to even out that contour. I always use it just because harsh contour lines really upset me. And that's something I never want to go out my house with. And I'm just going ahead and putting some mascara on my bottom lashes and on my top lashes just to blend them with the lashes that I just put on. My favorite highlighter to this day, I've just recently used it in the past like 2 or 3 months, so I'm still going with it. It's the Mega Glow highlighter. I think it's in Pink Petal. I'll have to put the name below in the description, but I really love it. It's very, very glowy. It's not too harsh because I've had some highlighters that just sit and it's so nasty. As you can see, I just went ahead and lined my lips with one of the lip liners that I had laying around. I wish I had probably a darker one, but I stumbled across one that I really like. And for that purple color, it's the LA Girl Matte in the shade Black Currant. That lipstick, when I say matte, that stuff stays. You're really going to put like coconut oil on your lips for it to go away. And then for that ombre look, I went ahead and I think it's like a Kylie Jenner dupe that I found in a beauty supply store just to give me that ombre. And then I took that scarf off and blended those edges. And I really wanted to make sure I put that foundation on my hairline so it blends. And there you go, guys. And that's it. Alright, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Touched by Troy, TROI.